Hi guys, I'm back again today with another video, and today we're checking out what it's like to interrogate a manipulator. So, how did we end up here? You might wonder. Well, lately I've discovered a site to TikTok, which I'm not low key, I'm high key addicted to. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop watching these and actually react to them because I want to share, because I want to talk to it with someone. I want somebody to interact with me. I want people to interact because I don't want to be the only one like talking to myself, like, oh, what if this happened? Oh, maybe he's the one who did it. Oh, maybe like, I'm like talking to myself like I'm a crazy person, which is not far from the truth. So I decided, let me react to it so that I will have like people who are like-minded or even not so like-minded like me, then we can discuss this in the comment section, right? Like, oh, do you think that this and that and da 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 and da 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 da, right? So that's how we ended up here today. So if you really like this type of shows as well as much as I do, let me know in the comments and let's get this ball rolling. So today we're going to check out what it's like to interrogate a manipulator. Okay, let's get it. Subscribe, click the bell button if you're first time, because this is going to be a new series on this channel. Maybe we should look for a week. Today's a Wednesday, Crime Wednesdays. Let me know which is the best day for you guys, right? Like, I'll do it once a week and stuff like that. We'll see.
This is the case of Paul Quant Sr., a 78-year-old disabled veteran who was subjected to a brutal and agonizing death at the hands of the last person he would suspect. Blues Creek in northwest Gainesville, Florida, seemed like a safe place for Paul Quant Sr. to settle down. He lived there for many years, and he seemed to be living a quiet and cheerful life. He was described by many who knew him as a kind-hearted gentleman who always saw the best in people, no matter who they were. On the night of
That's why I always say, yes, give people benefits of the doubt, but don't be too nice. People will take advantage of you. But in situations like this, we can't help it, right?
the 9th, 2012, however, the idyllic vision of his safe neighborhood was shattered when the 78-year-old disabled Navy veteran became the victim of a violent home invasion. The investigators described the scene as nothing short of horrific. There was blood all over the carpet. Quant Sr. was left bruised and bloodied, but he managed to get to the home of his neighbor, Virginia Grissom, to beg for help. Bear in mind, during this phone call to 911, Paul is slowly bleeding to death and is in an indescribable amount of pain. And it's remarkable to see that he still had the courage and bravery to go out and find help.
911, what's the emergency? My next door neighbor is a child.
Unless it's Virginia.
He's been my neighbor for 8 years. What's his name, ma'am? His name is Paul Quant. We're getting you some help. Just stay on the line. Stay with him. Okay, they're coming to your house as fast as they can. Tell me exactly what happened. He's banging on my door. He's covered in head to toe. Covered in blood. He said someone broke into his house. They tied him up. Okay. He is being away from home. How many people broke into his house? How many people, Paul? Oh my God.
Oh my God, he's still talking. Oh.
Can you ask him when they left his house? About 30 minutes ago, he thinks. What did they want?
Before, I would always think it was so pointless to keep talking to the people who are asking for help. Like, why are you annoying? Why, like, let me save my energy. But then it's actually medically good if they keep the conversation going, because if they let go, they might really let go, right? So it's good to keep them like talking, to kind of like wake them up, and instead of them going to consciousness and then probably like leaving. So I found out, right? Because before I was like, can you just stop questioning him and just come and help him? And but it's actually very necessary as well.
They cleaned his safe out. And they stole his Cadillac. A white Cadillac Eldorado. Disabled bedrooms were attached. Okay. Oh, I know. She's been in the ambulance. I'm so sorry.
With significant head trauma and a sizable piece of his forearm sawed off by a knife, police concluded that he had been tortured in the midst of the robbery, likely in an attempt to get information about valuable assets in the home. Grissom called for an ambulance, and before losing consciousness, Quant Sr. indicated that a male and female suspect were responsible for his attack, and that they had made off with everything, including the contents of his personal safe. Quant Sr. was sent to the hospital, where he was sadly pronounced dead shortly after due to his injuries. Meanwhile, Gainesville Police Department Sergeant Stephen Girard spotted the stolen Cadillac not far from Paul's home. A car chase ensued, with the suspect reaching upwards of 100 miles per hour before ultimately crashing into two other vehicles.
Freaking dumbbell. You freaking stole a Cadillac and then you want to crush it now? Of course he was in a run, right? So... But, like, what's the point now, right? I could never be a police or investigator because I'm too emotionally invested in situations. And dumb. I would never pass. Anyway, so oh, who's this? Van Gogh, yeah.
The suspect was searched by police, who found many objects linking him to the crime, including a stun gun, bloody duct tape, and bloody latex gloves. They quickly put him under arrest, as he invoked his right to remain silent. Gainesville authorities were able to identify the man as 22-year-old Austin Mark Jones after running his fingerprints through their database. Investigators, however, were still searching for the female attacker that Paul Quant had mentioned to Grissom. By speaking with friends and family, police learned Paul was frequently visited by caregivers and that each healthcare professional was required to sign in and out, confirming they had visited him. Authorities found that one caretaker's address matched Mark Jones' current address. It was his 22-year-old cousin, Miranda Martin. At her listed address, investigators found Martin's boyfriend, Chad McKee, who claimed he had no knowledge on the incident. They took him to an interrogation room for a formal interview.
Can you tell me about Miranda?
She's been my girlfriend for about 6 years.
Do you know where she's at right now?
As far as I know, she was at work.
You know a guy by the name of Austin?
He's Miranda's cousin.
He's in jail. Or he's at the hospital. He's fixing to go to jail.
All I can tell you about Austin is that I know he has been in trouble a few times. But other than that, I don't really know Austin.
When's the last time you heard from Miranda?
It was 2:54 a.m. She told me she was at her work, like in her patient had fell asleep. And that was really, I just told her I was watching a movie.
What time was Miranda supposed to get off work?
She told me 8.
Well, we don't want you caught up in something that you shouldn't be caught up in. Because what we're investigating is very serious crime. Attempted murder. Home invasion, robbery. A lot of bad stuff.
You look
really
shocked,
for her to do anything like what you're talking about. I mean, I've been with Miranda for 6 years and she hasn't done anything against the law other than traffic citations.
It's possible she's not involved in this.
No, I know, like I said,
It's possible our information has led us to her, and when we finally reach her, we'll find that she wasn't at all who we were looking to speak with.
Well, if you will, hang tight, and we're going to meet with the sergeant.
My brain is just like overthinking right now. That's why I keep looking at the camera, because like for some reason my brain is telling me like somebody will magically appear over the back, right? It's like, how is that possible? I don't know, but I'm just still looking to check. Okay, so excuse me if I keep looking at you guys, but I'm literally just shitting my pants right now, and that's why I keep looking at the back. I love these shows, but I'm also like the scariest cat in the world.
Well, if you will, hang tight, and we're going to meet with the sergeant and make sure he's good with everything. Listen, dude, I don't know what you told them and all this kind of stuff and everything, but I don't think you're being straight up. I find it hard to believe that she's been your girlfriend for several years and you don't know anything.
I mean, what are you asking me if I think that my girlfriend?
I think that she asked you about it. She mentioned it in front of you.
I'm just as shocked as you are to find out that you guys are knocking on my door whatever time, asking me if my girlfriend's committed attempted murder. When she had to go to work, is what she told me.
You just talked to her manager. She said she's not working today. Not at all. Why is she lying now about going to work?
Your guess is as good as mine.
At first, the detectives were adamant that Chad knew what his girlfriend did and was trying his best to cover for her. However, the more they interviewed him and the more they analysed his movement and body language, the more they realised that he was actually telling the truth and was...
because when they said, like, I don't know what it was that they said, but I forget, his reaction was, like, genuine, like, he didn't know, he was shocked. He was genuinely shocked from the footage. So I guess he, didn't know.
Movement and body language, the more they realised that he was actually telling the truth and was indeed unaware about his girlfriend's despicable plans.
Call her, put her on speaker, say, hey, what's up? Are you coming home? What's the plan? And then we'll just go from there, see what happens.
It's voicemail.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept.
I don't think she's gonna pick up. If Miranda was in trouble, if she couldn't come home to you, what was her mom? What's her name?
Kathy Martin.
The detectives decided to visit Miranda's mother's house in Fort White in order to question her about her daughter's whereabouts, where they surprisingly found Miranda there, hiding out in one of the rooms. Both Miranda and her mother, Kathy Jones Martin, were brought in for questioning. They were placed in 2 different rooms and questioned simultaneously. The detectives' main aim is to establish a timeline and trap them into a story. If any of their accounts differ from one another, it would be a huge step in the case against them.
Tell me about your day yesterday.
I left my apartment. It was around 11, 12, and I went out to my mom's.
Yesterday, between daylight and dark, Austin asked Randy to give him a ride to
Okay.
his lady friend.
I met up with some chick, and that's the last I seen him.
Gave Austin a ride to work.
It was the
Using
parking
some
lot
chick
off
as,
of-
like,
I don't know if it was 13th or
an
440
escape.
White. I just dropped him off and left.
Okay, when you dropped him off and left him, where'd you go?
Dad thought I had to work, so I had to go back and pretend like I was getting my work clothes.
Why are you lying to Chad?
I lied to him last night because I just wanted to spend a night like with my mom and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want him to get mad, so I told him I was working.
In the short time she was interviewed, Miranda has already admitted to willingly lying to her boyfriend about her whereabouts. It's clear to see that this is a sign of her true nature beginning to show. Somebody who is willing to deceive and fabricate the truth in order to receive what she wants.
Okay, so you dropped Austin off
And I left.
and drove back to your mom's.
Yes.
So what time do you think you got to your mom's?
It was like 10.
Okay, so she left around dusk.
Made it in between 10 and 11.
Okay.
But it's, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6 hours she's gone to just drop him off. Did she say if she went anywhere else after that? Or
Well, I thought she was going to work.
if you can think of anything, I would much rather lay everything on the table. I don't know. Maybe everything that you've told us is what you know. I don't know. But I just like to let people know that from the very beginning.
You were in Fort White at 10 o'clock. I take it that you had your phone with you.
The detectives believe that she was in Gainesville, where Paul Quant resided, on Monday, January 9th. However, both Miranda and her mother are adamant that she was in Fort White that night, 32 miles away from Gainesville, because Miranda wanted to spend the night with her mother. The detectives need to first of all prove that this is not true if they want to build a case against her.
If your signal was bouncing off a tower towards Gainesville at 11 o'clock, Would that surprise you?
Yeah, it would surprise me.
There is a reason. We want you to be able to explain it now before.
Okay, because I thought my boyfriend was cheating on me, okay? So I drove back just to see if his car was in the parking lot.
You drove by where?
My apartment.
And you got back to Gainesville at what time now?
It was around like 1 or 1:30.
And just like that, the detectives got what they wanted. Miranda changed her story and said she went back to Gainesville to check up on her boyfriend, placing herself in the area at the time the crime occurred.
We have some reservations about where your daughter was last night. Please, be honest.
She spent the night at my house last night. She made it in between 10 and 11. She rented the movie Paul, and we watched that.
Miranda's mother, however, continued to stick to the story, pleading that her and her daughter were together the whole night. This is most likely a story they rehearsed many times before this interview. Frustrated, the detectives decided to conclude the interrogation, as it was clear it wasn't going anywhere.
How many times total you think you worked for Paul?
Well, it was 3 days a week.
At least once a week, I guess you'd make his bed.
Yes.
Okay.
The bed sheets, everything that took off the bed, put in the washer, and then put back on the bed.
So you never got anything off the closets?
The only time I ever went to the closet was just to hang up stuff, and that's it.
Okay. So you saw the safe there?
Oh, I didn't think that was like a safe or anything.
What do you think it was?
I thought it was just like a box thing, like a metal box.
Be honest with me. What was the reason for bringing him
You
over
dumb
here?
or something?
Be
That you
honest.
didn't know.
He was supposed to meet with some girl.
Excuse my
I
language.
dropped him off.
You dropped Austin off just down the road from Paul's house, right? Miranda, be honest with me. You dropped him off just down the road from Paul's house, right?
Yes. He was
Okay.
meeting some girl, and that's that. That's honestly it.
Miranda, I know we've been talking a long time to Detective Joe Mayo. Every time we come outside, there's a
Look at how
little bit
she's-
more information that you've disclosed. And that's why we
She's
keep
just,
coming
like,
back here and asking you some more
cold.
questions, okay? Because nothing seems to be adding up. When you guys went there last night, okay, and when you guys drove up there, you know, whatever you planned to do, did you expect it to unfold the way it unfolded? Did you expect Austin to act like that? Miranda, this is important. Things changed, right? Things changed, right?
Yes. I thought you were just gonna scare him, just not her, just scare him.
Finally, an admission that she did indeed drop Austin off at Paul's house with the intent to make contact with Paul and not for Austin to see a girl. At this point, both the detectives and Miranda know there's no turning back from this. The truth is almost out.
So what was Austin's new plans now?
I guess he just wanted everything.
I haven't seen everything that he's got, so you tell me what everything is. What does he want from Mr. Paul?
I didn't care about what he got or anything. Like, I didn't even want Austin to go in the
But
first
how does
place.
Austin know
But he did go, and you knew he was going there to scare him.
if not for her?
Miranda, did he tell you to wait for him?
I waited for him down the street where there was like a house for rent.
It must have been hell waiting. Did you ever go in the house just to see what was going on to get him?
Did you try to stop him?
I was only like past the doorstep for a little while, and I froze.
Okay.
She has now admitted that she was in Paul Quant's residence at the same time as Austin. However, she's trying her best to distance herself from the brutality of the crime that occurred by only showing peripheral complicity in the crime. In order to charge her for her involvement, the detectives need more admissions from Miranda.
You're just standing there, right? Were you in shock? Did you hear Mr. Paul yell for help?
I couldn't hear anything. It was
Miranda, what was he saying?
just, honestly, I just couldn't hear anything.
What time last night did you go over to Mr. Paul's house?
Between 9:30 and 10.
Between 9:30 and 10. And who went?
Austin went first, and then I followed. Austin rang the doorbell, and the next thing you know, he just pushes it open.
Did Mr. Paul see you?
I don't think he had a chance after Austin just pushed him.
Do you follow him into the you follow Austin in?
Yes, so I was standing like at the edge. He was like, throw that mask at me, put this on.
You threw the mask at you, told you to put it on?
Yes, sir.
What color was the mask?
It was a red Elmo.
He had a PIN number? Okay, so he got Mr. Paul's PIN number?
For the safe.
Okay. So did Austin tie him up?
Yes.
Was he begging for his life?
He just kept saying, I'll give you everything you want. Please stop. Oh, that hurt.
And what was Austin hitting him with?
It looked like his fist.
His fist? And did you see Mr. Paul bleeding? Yes? Okay.
I didn't know if Austin was about to do something to me next.
Okay. You know that Austin's hitting him, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're saying Austin's collecting everything in the house to take it. So what did Austin take?
I seen him with a box of stuff.
A box of stuff.
I don't know what all was in the box.
Any chance that maybe you collect anything in the house? Did you take anything?
Austin just kept telling me, take it.
And where did you put that stuff?
In the trunk of his car.
Did you drive the Cadillac out of the garage?
Yes, he made me drive to the bank.
You guys drove to the bank to use a debit card at the banks?
Yes.
What bank did you go to?
Capital something.
Did you go to an ATM machine? If we get some video from that ATM, is it going to be you?
Yes.
How much money did you take out?
4.
So you took out 400? Okay. Where'd you go next?
To a bank on Newberry, but it had exceeded.
Oh, exceeded limit.
But that was you too. I mean, if we pull the bank records,
It's me.
it's you. What are you feeling right now, Miranda?
I'm the worst person in the whole entire world, and I let something bad happen to somebody that didn't deserve it, and I should have stopped it.
After the interview was concluded, it was obvious to the detectives that she was involved in the crime just as much as Austin was, even though she tried to paint a picture
might be
that
the
she was a
mastermind, to
victim
be
in
honest.
this, and that she was being forced by her cousin Austin the whole time. All this was later confirmed to be true when detectives searched the car where they found her journal. What they read highlighted the dark and evil nature of Miranda Martin, and really destructed the facade she had put up of a scared individual who was being controlled and manipulated. In fact, she was the one who was manipulating everyone, and after reading her journal, it was clear to see the lengths she went to execute her plan. The journal read, "I should have looked through the drawers, got to get information on the location of the key, get back in and set up entrance. Also make sure I set up a stepping system to boost myself up high enough. I want to do it really, really soon, but might have to wait a few months, thinking maybe sometime in December before Christmas." The detectives also found a key to Mr. Quant's house in the car. The key seemed to be an older one because sometime during the planning of this robbery, Paul Quant became concerned when he couldn't find the spare key to his house, forcing him to change the locks to his front door. The investigators believe that Miranda was indeed the mastermind behind this brutal murder, and her cousin Austin was the brute force she needed to carry out her plan. Both Miranda Martin and Austin Jones were charged with attempted first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit home invasion robbery.
Disgusting behavior. So, Mr. Paul didn't make it because it was attempted murder before, and at the end he didn't make it, so it's now murder. I have trust issues, right? I do have trust issues because I watch these, but yeah, let me know if there's some episode that you want me to check out. I know there's so many out there, and I know that I haven't seen all because it's like lately that I got into it, and I haven't seen a lot yet. So I'm really excited to continue this journey, and if you want a specific story for us to react to, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.